At approximately just before 01 a.m. this morning, one of our troopers stopped a vehicle for a violation, contacted the driver of the vehicle. Shortly thereafter, the passenger of the vehicle came out with what appears to be a submachine gun type of weapon. Our trooper was in close quarters with the subject and engaged in what became a fight for his life within 8 minutes of the initial stop. Was able to parry the gun away while the subject fired at him. The trooper was able to return fire toward the vehicle after seeking cover. The suspect sped away. The initial subject of the stop was detained with the trooper at the initial scene at milepost 57. The trooper put out information describing the suspect and the vehicle. Because we're out here in a rural area, all our agencies count on each other. The La Paz County Sheriff's Department, the United States Border Patrol, they work cohesively together. Shortly thereafter, the subject was spotted again by law enforcement, by the Border Patrol. There was another engagement at milepost 11. Shortly thereafter, the subject crossed the freeway to the eastbound lanes on foot, abandoning his vehicle. He commandeered an 18-wheeler in which a trucker was resting on the side of the road, broke the window out, beat the driver of the truck, took the truck at gunpoint, and proceeded on the freeway. Another engagement occurred with law enforcement and the suspect at milepost 17, close to this area here. The suspect continued to drive in the 18-wheeler. He was now in a large vehicle that you see back over here in the tractor trailer. He drove through town here into Business District 10, and the officers and troopers engaged him again in this area here with lethal force. Subject was pronounced deceased after 4 o'clock this morning. Subject appears to have been a career criminal. Right now, that's what we have.
Any officers injured in this?
None of our officers were injured, fortunately. Like I said, they worked cohesively. The communications were sound between agencies. Great cooperation between agencies. I think both training and the cooperation between the agencies, La Paz County and the U.S. Border Patrol and Arizona DPS, is in great part the reason that everybody came out of this safely.
So if I'm getting the timeline right, it was 1 to 4 was when he was pronounced dead. So this is 4 hours of activity?
The initial engagement was at 00:56 hours, just before 1 a.m. Following engagements were closer to 2 a.m.
Okay.
And then those engagements picked up immediately after each other. So this really, the violence of all of it was within about 2 hours, but for our trooper it went from 00:56 hours, he's making a traffic stop for a suspended license, and within 8 minutes he's in the fight for his life.
You know, I know it's so early in the investigation, but was there anything in the suspect's initial vehicle that would lead you to believe why he would do this? Was there warrants with this individual, why he would decide to shoot instead of giving up?
We're getting initial information. There was possibly a warrant on the suspect. We always like to get some better confirmation on those things as the investigation proceeds, but indications from what we see within the suspect thus far, he was a career criminal, obviously in possession of a weapon, which is a felony. So I can't tell you what his motive was, but those are some of the things that we know at hand.
You touched upon it, but when you talk about 3 different engagements, the work that you guys did along with the Border Patrol as well as the La Paz County Sheriffs, I mean, working together to turn around and end this the way you did without any troopers, any officers being hurt.
It's significant, and it was actually 4 engagements, and the cohesion between the agencies is exceptional, but these guys are used to working out here together in these rural areas, and they count on each other, so they communicate well. There's a professional relationship with all of the agencies, and the manner in which they handled this situation, really, this was not just an officer safety hazard. This was clearly a public hazard, and it got more and more intensified when he stole a tractor trailer, and you can tell by the manner in which he smashed things up through town as he was driving that his actions were lethal just in his driving.
Anything you could give us on the initial suspect who was taken into custody at milepost 57?
Yeah, we don't have much on him right now. We're just getting him ID'd and whatnot, but we really don't have too much on him right now.
And the injuries with the truck driver, anything specific with that?
I don't know the extent of his injuries,
Okay.
ma'am. No.
What about the truck driver? Was he injured at all, or where is he?
I would tell you he was injured, but to what degree, I don't know. It was stated that he was, the truck was taken by force, the window was smashed in, and he was beaten by the suspect with the gun, is what the initial report is. So I would assume he is injured, but to what degree, I don't know.
So he was thrown out of the truck, and then the suspect took
I'm
off?
not sure how he exited the vehicle.
And you had mentioned that the weapon that he used. You said, how did you explain the rifle?
It appears to be what we would term a subgun, a semi-automatic, high-capacity gun, not a pistol, not a rifle, but a subgun carrying handgun rounds, but in a subgun.
How many agencies fired shots at the truck to subdue this suspect?
3 agencies that we know.
3 agencies?
Yes.
So this is going to be closed down for pretty much all day because there's so many agencies involved?
We're going to be closed down for a while. Arizona DPS is taking the lead of the criminal investigation. The FBI, obviously, because the United States Border Patrol is involved in assault on federal officers. The FBI will also be conducting part of the investigation as well.
When he was driving the semi around, can you tell us some of the property that he damaged as he was driving?
You'd actually be able to see it better than I can describe it. It's back behind us here, just previous to where he came to rest.
He just had no. He just
Reckless abandon.
And did he shoot at you guys when he got to this location here?
I don't know what the engagement was
Okay.
here. I know that there were 4 engagements. I know in several of those engagements he did in fact shoot at the officers. I don't know what the level of engagement was here. We'll learn that through more
So
information.
milepost 57, 17. Well, 17 twice actually. Here, there, and 11.
Yeah, so milepost 57, 11,
Yeah.
17,
And then.
and then here.
Yeah. Okay.